Welcome to lesson 7147, solving trigonometric equations. Okay, find all values of x in an interval 0 to 2 pi that solve cosine cubed over sine x equals the cotangent of x. Okay, so let's draw our trig functions and what do they look like. So the sine of x goes up, hits 0 at pi, comes down, and comes back up. So this is a full wave over 2 pi radians. The cosine starts at 1, hits 0 at pi over 2, hits -1 at pi, hits 0 at 3 pi over 2, and hits 1 again at 2 pi radians. The cotangent. Okay, let's think about what the cotangent looks like. Okay, so what does the cotangent do? At pi over 2 is 0. So the cotangent comes down. At pi over 2 it hits 0, and at pi is negative infinity. And then we do the same thing. So we want to know where the cosine cubed divided by the sine x is equal to the cotangent. So let's see what we got. Okay, so cosine cubed x over sine of x is equal to the cotangent of x. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the cotangent into the cosine over the sine. Then I am going to multiply both sides by the sine because it's in the denominator. And I can do that. And that cancels out on both sides. So I'm left with the cosine cubed of x is equal to the cosine of x. If I subtract the cosine, I get the cosine cube of x minus the cosine of x equal to 0. The cosine of x, cosine squared x minus 1. The cosine squared plus the sine squared. Let's see. The cosine plus the sine squared is equal to 1. So the cosine squared minus 1 is equal to the negative sine squared just by moving those things around. So I got the cosine of x. Now let's do this in a different color so we don't get confused. Run a new idea here. Okay, so come in right here. So we get the cosine x times negative sine x, sine squared x. Okay, now we come back to some basic algebra. We're going to separate the cosine x is equal to 0 by zero product property. You did this a lot in algebra 1 and 2. And then negative sine squared x. We set that equal to 0. We divide by -1 and take the square root, and you get the sine of x is equal to 0. Okay, so now looking back in our original thing, the sine can't be equal to 0 because it's in a denominator, so we can't work with this one. So where is the cosine equal to 0? The cosine of x is equal to 0 at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. And these are your solutions. And if you probably plug these two angles in, it should probably work out for both sides. It definitely has to work out for both sides. Okay, solve a trig equation by factoring. Okay, so we know that the sine of x is equal to y. So what if I just do 2y squared plus y is equal to 1. And if I take 2y squared minus y minus 1 is equal to 0. All right, so now this comes back to some basic algebra. We got 2y minus 1 and then y plus 1. Set that equal to 0, and then I'm going to come all the way over to the left. I should have probably moved that over, but whatever. We get set both factors equal to 0 separately. Add 1, 2y equals 1, divide by 2. Y can equal 1/2. Subtract 1. Y can equal -1. All right, so when y is a half, we are at 5 pi over 6 in the first quadrant. In the second quadrant, we're at 5 pi over 6. And when y is -1, we're at 3 pi over 2. From the unit circle, know these angles from your unit circle. Okay, now let's solve this with a calculator. Now, when you hit calculator, make sure your calculator's in radians. So we're going to do mode. It could be in degrees. Doesn't make a difference. Hit the mode button, and then you're going to scroll down using the arrow button. Radians, I can't remember which. I think degrees is first, I think. And I'll say degree. All right? Both of these will be highlighted, but I can't write highlight here. What you're going to have to do is use your arrows to highlight one, hit enter, and then second mode to quit. And I guess it doesn't matter if you're in degrees or radians, but what you're going to do is t is equal to the cosine inverse. So you're going to hit second cosine, 0.7, because this is a ratio. And you put in ratios to get angles. And if you're in radians, we're going to get 0.795, rounding off to 4. Now remember, this is an angle in radians. So the cosine is positive and angle in quadrant 1 is negative in quadrant 2. If we do it in degrees, you're going to get 45.5 degrees. And then because it could be in quadrant 2, you can do 180 minus 45.5. And 180 minus 4 is 133.5 degrees. So it'll be one of these two.